Hi RARs! Today we're going to be doing something different, although I say that pretty much every video, but whatever. We're going to be giving stock tips, which I think I'm allowed to do. From what I know, a lot of the time people make stock recommendation videos, they have to like say some disclaimer about how it's not investment advice, even though it clearly is. And obviously you don't have to buy these stocks because, I mean, how can I force you through watching a video? I might do have my powers as the dictator of RAR, but I guess I will not be invoking them here. But what we will be doing is that there is a market crash today, or at least it went down a little bit, and I will be sharing my favorite stocks, and I will in fact add to my position in this account. Obviously, this is all my real money, of course. This is not a simulated account for me to test my performance. That is what it is, by the way. So before I get into the 12 positions that I want to mention for stocks, I also want to mention the crypto market. So for those of you that are familiar with cryptocurrencies, they have just been taking a massive dump. I mean, take a look at this. In the last week, down 16%, and that's Bitcoin. Bitcoin usually outperforms all the other cryptos when they go down, and then Bitcoin usually does worse if they all go up. So obviously this is a total disaster. I am also a fan of Bitcoin. Again, I was not too invested in it because I understand that, I mean, it has no value, so you don't want to go too crazy. And I mean, if you put more than like 30 or 40%, that's probably a mistake because who knows what could happen. As you can see, it's just had some crazy ups and downs. I do think it's going to have another move up. I do think it's a great time to buy Bitcoin, but I mean, it doesn't have any value. It doesn't make any money. You're just counting on other people to buy it, which I think will happen, but who knows? It could stay down you could easily stay down like this for a year, right? That wouldn't be crazy. It's done stuff like that before. But let's get into the stock positions because this is a stock tip article. I have 12 positions that I would like to show, and I'm also going to be adding to them in my portfolio. So with that said, let's start showing them. So the first one I'm going to mention is this one called Leg. Okay, should I be searching here or not? Maybe so. I barely know what all these companies do, but whatever. This is Leggett & Platt. They are an industrial company. I believe they make bed springs, but actually let me make sure because I actually don't know very much about this company. Right? Aren't they the bed spring company? Let's see. Yeah, various components that can be found in homes and automobiles. So basically they're an industrial company. They make a bunch of things that you use as mentioned here. I mean, are they going to actually say what they make? Come on, can you actually tell me what you make? Okay, whatever. The point is they make lots of different things. Here we go. Furniture, seating, industrial materials. That's all you need to know. I think they're pretty cheap at the current moment. Obviously, they got hurt by the market. Actually, right, I want to also talk about the market today because the market went down quite a decent amount. Overall, the NASDAQ was down almost 3%, and the S&P 500, which is the 500 largest companies by market cap in the United States markets, went down almost 2%, which is sort of a lot for a market. And so that's one thing I would look into if you're looking for stocks to buy. And as I will also be adding all these, at least adding fake positions into my tip ranks portfolio. So that way, if I am incorrect on my picks, I will suffer in my fake portfolio, which is admittedly not too much suffering, but you get the point. My second and third positions are basically the same thing. The evil vaccine companies, I think, will continue to make money, so it is time to buy them and get rich off of them. So Moderna is one company that's made a vaccine, and they make so much money. I mean, like, the government just hands them billions of dollars to continue making vaccines, and they were definitely overvalued before, but this is basically a bet on the government forcing people to keep getting vaccinated even more and more. And I think that's probably likely, and because of that, Moderna, they make one of the vaccines. If you've heard of the Pfizer vaccine, it was actually made by BioNTech. They actually had a partnership with Pfizer where they made the vaccine together. The point is, both these companies, I think they've dropped a ton. I mean, they're still up a lot, but I think they're extremely cheap. And so I would definitely buy, especially BioNTech. I mean, you look at their price to earnings ratios, it's so incredibly cheap. And I think that there might even be more vaccines, in which case there's more money for them. So those are two more choices. Another one, I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with this one. This is the Cheesecake Factory. So the stock ticker is Cake, which is pretty much perfect. They basically just, I mean, you've probably seen them. They have a bunch of stores. They're not super big, but they're a restaurant. And they also own this one called, North Italia. They've been trying to do new types of things with their business. Okay, who cares if I can't spell cheese? Oh my goodness. I am so bad. Let's pretend that didn't happen. This is the Cheesecake Factory. Okay, what did I put Koto for? That's weird. I did not mean to do that. all these evil results. But this is basically what it is. This restaurant. So I just think they're pretty cheap. I mean, price to earnings ratio is decent, but I think they might actually still keep growing. And with inflation, they can raise the prices, right? I mean, anyone that goes to a restaurant, they're going to have to pay the higher prices. So I'm pretty sure they have a good future. The next one is CLF. This one makes steel. So it's a steel production company. And I mean, it went on almost 10% just today. So again, an extremely cheap company. And I also like it because I expect higher inflation to continue, as I went over in the Great Inflate video. And CLF is certainly one of those companies that I would be looking into if I were you. And let's go to the next one, Coinbase. So Coinbase is actually a very famous company. They are the largest crypto exchange in the country. So what they do is they are an exchange for you to buy cryptocurrency. So if you want to buy crypto, I mean, actually I have an account with them too. You can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all of the large cryptocurrencies you can buy through their website. And so basically you just exchange your cash for crypto, but they charge a commission for it, right? They have like a 1%, or is it 0.5% now, charge in the commissions for everything you buy. If you buy some Bitcoin, they'll take a piece of it. They make so much money too. But they went down a lot because the crypto market went down. They're very correlated with Bitcoin. Our next two picks are also pretty similar, Rocket Mortgage and United Home Sale. And what they do is they are mortgage refinance companies. So what they will do is, let's say you want to buy a house, but you don't have, $500,000, which is basically everyone. You need to get a bunch of debt, and you go to these companies for that. They can issue loans to you, and they of course make money because they charge interest, and they can sell the loans to the secondary market. It's very complicated. The point is they make a lot of money. Again, all of these companies have extremely low price to earnings ratios, at least most of them, because I mean, people have just thought their business is going to go under. People, I think Rocket Mortgage and United Home Sale. I think it's United Home Sale, right? Pop up already. Stupid. What is wrong with my internet? Did I type that wrong? Yeah. Okay. UMH Holdings. I think that's what it means. Anyways, people are expecting there to be a massive housing shortage, or I mean, a massive housing slowdown, and because of that, that would hurt the business of these mortgage providers because there'd be less mortgages. If they make less mortgages, that means there's less profit. But I don't know. I mean, I think inflation will continue to go up. So again, like a lot of things, even if there's a slowdown, I think the loans will get bigger because the price of houses will continue going up, which means that the mortgages will be larger. They'll have to borrow more money, and then they'll make more money. And also interest rates are going up, and I think that also means more money. So I'd be pretty happy about that. Both of these, Rocket Mortgage and United Home Sale, super cheap companies. I mean, they're both trading at 52-week lows. I'm amazed at how cheap they are, honestly. I mean, just go crazy in these stocks. They are just some of the cheapest in the market out there. The next two, which are also similar, are retailers. So I don't buy clothing, and I don't understand anyone who would pay money to buy something nice. I prefer to be slobby in my... Slobby? Is that even a word? Okay, whatever. I made it up. That just proves how much of a slob I am. But I just prefer to wear, ugly sweatpants and t-shirts. But for those that do like to dress up, they go out to these places, and they spend a lot of their money, apparently. And apparently, okay, whatever. So Gap and Nordstrom, I think, are two of the cheaper apparel companies. Gap, they own what? The Gap, Old Navy, Banana Republic, and Athleta. And Nordstrom is mainly just Nordstrom. So basically, I just think both of them are also extremely cheap stocks, if you're interested. They both went down a lot today, close to 52-week lows. But again, I think all of them will benefit from inflation because the prices of everything will go up, and that'll just push up everyone's earnings. And I don't think people will stop buying clothing anytime soon. The next one is probably one that a lot of you guys might be excited in if you like gambling, and that's Penn National Gaming. They, I think, are the largest sports betting company in the country, but they have all sorts of gaming, platforms? Okay, no, for sports gaming, basically. So they have sports gambling, but I think they might also have normal gambling, and I believe they also have their own the sports bar stool, which apparently is a popular thing for people that are into sports. I'm not. But they have some news channel that makes money. So they have a lot of different revenue sources. And again, I just think they're really cheap. They have just dropped so much. I mean, they were overvalued last year, but this drop has just been completely insane. I mean, this is an extremely cheap company, and I don't expect it to get back to where it was. I don't know why people are building it up so much. People were so excited about sports gambling for a while, but I think now it's swung in the other direction where they're getting too scared. I think the future of it's pretty good because the government will probably keep legalizing it, and then they'll be able to go into more states, and they just use their evil apps, and they get a bunch of suckers that like gambling, I mean, who are we kidding? We all love gambling. And then they take commissions off of those trades that people make. They have pretty good spreads too, as you can, if you usually check out like how much of the money they take when you make a bet with them. I mean, they have very decent margins. And we will also mention a mall stock. This one is called the Macerich Company. This one just owns a bunch of malls. Pretty boring business. People thought malls were dead, but they're not. Of course, this stock looks like it's been dead the last 5 years. The management screwed up, but I think it's pretty cheap now. And yeah, I think malls have actually proven themselves to survive. People were saying how malls were going to die because coronavirus was going to make everyone stay at home and they would never go back out. Honestly, I sort of believed that, but it's just not true. I mean, people are actually going back to malls at the same rate that they did before, which is amazing to me too, but I mean, I guess good for the mall company. It's obviously recovered somewhat from when it was super low, but I still think it really is cheap. It could easily, I think, get to $30 again. I am definitely a big fan of Macerich. And the last one we'll be looking at is probably the one that I'm sure all of you have heard of, and that is Disney. So Disney really got hammered today in the market, going down almost 7%. That's a lot, right? Just think about it. 7% of its value, the market just assumes is gone today. So Disney, I mean, I don't even know if I have to explain. They make all these movies, of all types, really. It's not just, what do they even own? Who even knows? But they own a bunch of different things. They even have the theme parks. In fact, the theme parks are actually like, was it half their business? I was surprised. The Disney World and Disneyland are a super big part of their business. But they also recently launched Disney Plus, which is basically where all their content is. And they compete with Netflix and Hulu and HBO and Amazon Prime and Pluto TV and like a million other streaming services that no one cares about. I think they're pretty cheap too. So I'm not sure if that was sort of long, but those are my 12 top stock tips for today. So what I will be doing now is I will be adding to all of them in this fake account here to show that I am actually invested, at least, supposedly invested. Again, to prove I'm a good investor, this smart portfolio shows that I have done better than what? Was it like 90% of people? Come on, my performance. I think it was better than over 90%. Oh, okay, I don't want to answer any questions. See, risk profile, they're confused because it's been crazy. But overall, look at that. Yep. I'm going to try to get back in the top 1%. Currently, I am barely outside the top 1%. To be in the top 1%, I would need to be, in the top 5,500. But I'm still pretty close here, and I think these investments I have today are going to bring me back because I think they're really good ones. In fact, even take a look at how I've outperformed this month. Like the market went down 6%, and I went up 2%. So, I think I'm really going to come back here, and I'm just going to destroy everybody because I am part of the 1%. TipRanks will accept me soon. But this week, we're going to be having a really challenging one. And I think this is smarter because if you check the comments the last few weeks, it looks like all the RARs have figured out how to not watch the video and still get the correct comment. Basically, 2 or 3 people actually watch it. They post the real comment, and then everyone else just copies them. So I've got a smart one this week. This is going to require some real work, but that's what I'd make a RARers do. I want you to comment your 3 favorite companies that I presented today. So you have to give me the stock tickers, which, yes, will take effort. And it's also required that they are not the same ones that someone else did. And this is so someone doesn't just completely copy someone else's comment. I'll know if you do that this week, guys. And I've smartened up, okay? So, for example, you could say, I love Disney, Moderna, and BioNTech or something, right? Put the stock tickers. If you give a reason, even better, more likely I'll approve. Maybe you'll get an extra 5 cents, who knows? So I'm sorry, RARs, but I think people have been gaming the system too much, and I have finally found a way to change that. But I think that's going to be the end of this video, and I will just quickly add this to my TipRanks portfolio, and I hope I get in the top 1% soon, because, as I mentioned, RAR is extremely exceptional. We're really the top 1% of the 1%, and I'm confident I will be there soon.